The following is a presentation of the United Wrestling Network.
Scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 175 pounds, Danny Limelight Rivera.
Welcome everyone to Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. TK Todd Kennelly along with Blake Bulletproof Troop. This should be a good one. Last time we saw Danny Limelight Rivera, he was in a war with Slice Boogie, a war that didn't see them settle the score, but another shot at victory here for Limelight.
Absolutely. It makes me wonder if Danny's going to come out really looking for the finish after missing that one just by seconds, too.
And introducing his opponent from the Electric City, weighing in at 210 pounds, BHK Kevin Martinson.
BHK is back. One of the most impressive competitors in the history of this program and of the United Wrestling Network. He's going to go it alone. Longtime tag team competitor, won numerous tag team titles, but a former television champion as well, and one of the most overall powerful and effective athletes we've ever seen. What a matchup this looks to be against Danny Limelight. Cannot wait for this. Talk strategy in this one, Blake. Two incredible competitors going to go toe-to-toe.
Well, I think a big thing to look at is momentum. We're seeing Kevin Martinson coming off a loss, and we're seeing Danny Limelight come off a draw, which he was very, very close to winning, seconds away from. So I expect to see a hungry Danny coming out here, really trying to look for the finish on Martinson. Martinson's a big boy, though. He's going to have to be smart about how he tries to put him away.
You're not kidding. He's so deceptively strong, but that's something that he dealt with as Slice Boogie as well. Slice Boogie was full speed ahead, very physical, and as you mentioned, Limelight was mere seconds away. He hit that symbiote DDT, but the match had taken a toll, and Limelight just couldn't crawl over into the cover quick enough. But a great matchup. This type of great competition you're going to see on Championship Wrestling week in, week out. And again, you know, throughout that lengthy break, Danny Limelight stayed active with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, you know, maybe going to be warmed up a little bit more than perhaps a Martinson. Look out here. Nice takedown. Martinson getting turned inside out in the early going.
Yeah, Danny Limelight is looking sharp. He has not missed a step during this COVID pandemic.
Got to think, though, that he was frustrated not getting that victory. Big spinning backbreaker by BHK.
That was smart. He needs to slow Danny down a little bit. The way Danny is moving out there, he's moving too quickly for Martinson. Martinson has got to slow Danny down.
Went for the rat trap, perhaps, and looking to go for the win in the early going there. That variation of the sharpshooter. Out to the outside now. And we've seen him dive. Look out here. Big time dive to the outside by Danny Limelight, and Martinson is in big time trouble early.
Man, guys have got to be careful when they get outside the ring. They're not going to buy themselves a second to recover with Danny Limelight. He is going to come flipping and flying at you.
No question about it. You know, in sports, usually, you know, you get to those sidelines, you can take a breather from the action. Not when you're in there with Limelight. Springboard, crossbody, beautifully done. Dead center of the ring, dead to rights, no, only two, says referee Allison Lee.
See, this aggression that we're seeing out of Danny, this is when I expect to see him after seeing him get that draw where 5 seconds could have made the difference. So he's not going to be in there wasting time or anything. He's putting it on Martinson and trying to get the finish. He was very close to that spring body.
Yeah, into that body press, and I'll tell you, BHK now hits with the side Russian leg sweep. Beautifully done. Going to tie up his opponent. Oh, look at this.
It's almost like an omoplata variation shoulder lock. Where he has his head trapped, so Limelight's stuck in this position. Let's see if we can get that other arm behind him. This is weird. I've never seen anything like this.
Almost a crucifix there. Martinson can attack you from all angles. He can high fly as well, and he's very versed in submissions. We talked about that rat trap. Jackknife cover the other way now by Limelight, but into the body lock. Holding on to his opponent there was Martinson, and scores with the big clothesline.
That was a beautiful transition by both guys. Both guys counter, recounter, recounter to the counter.
Into the cover.
Beautiful transitions in wrestling. This is very high-level wrestling here.
And it was Martinson that got the best of the scramble, scored with that big clothesline. You see the effects there. Holding on, and this is something that Limelight dealt with. You know, I don't know. We had such a war with Slice Boogie. Limelight may not be 100%.
You know, I think people underestimate the mileage that gets put on their body after a sports competition like professional wrestling. And that match between Danny Limelight and Slice Boogie was rough.
Especially when you consider it went the distance, time limit draw. And perching now is BHK, Kevin Martinson. Again, such a championship history on this program, all the way back to the early days in the Galaxy Theater, down the freeway. Of course, a member of the Rock Nest Monsters, but going alone here, back and forth, seesaw. Who wants it more?
These are the exact times where I say that Danny Limelight cannot just go head-to-head with these big boys. He's a tough dude, and once he gets hit, he wants to be in the middle of the battle. But it's not the smartest strategy, as you saw there with Martinson a second ago.
Danny Limelight, he's got that fighting spirit, though. He's shown it in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and here that snap German suplex. And the eyes looking very strange there, Blake. Lights dimmed, courtesy of BHK, and he looking to follow up. Inside cradle now, nicely countered. Can he put him away? Shoulders down, referee checking, close call.
That was great officiating right there. She checked those shoulders to make sure they were down before she started doing the pinfall.
Yep, nicely done. Great officiating there by Allison Lee and BHK. He's so unorthodox with some of his offense, but he is one of the hardest hitters on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, looking for the pop-up powerbomb, countered nicely into a roll-up deep hook of the leg. Oh my goodness, a fraction of a second away.
That was a beautiful, tricky veteran move there by Danny Limelight. We thought he was about to go back first into that mat with that powerbomb, and he switched it up to the Hurricane Rana and got a 2 count.
Measured here. Here you see that fancy footwork. Oh, he was thinking symbiote DDT, but too much power there by BHK. Looking for the big bicycle kick. Nobody home with the roundhouse. Who's gonna connect? Roll up now by BHK. Transition. Rat trap perhaps. Yes. Can he get him turned here, Blake?
He's been taking damage on his back throughout this. Oh, he gets the tap.
Here is your winner, Kevin Martinson.
There was no way he was coming back from that. He had to tap. All the mileage from Slice Boogie and the damage he took on his back in this match, I'm not surprised at all that Danny Limelight tapped out there.
Limelight was clutching that back throughout the match. He was attacked, and sometimes discretion, the better part of valor. But BHK, huge victory here, and more to come on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Papa, how you doing, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. Hey, forget about all that, man. More important things. How's your mom, bro? How's your mom?
I'm good, papi. ¿Cómo está, hermano? How's
Good,
abuela?
bro. We all good, man. I had to leave the house for a minute.
What you do now?
Oh, what am I doing now? Papa, Coño, they let me in here. I'm here now. You see it?
And did you just see me tap out? Because you know that's not like me.
Listen, we fall down, and what do?
We get back up.
We get back up. Don't let that fool with your emotions. Look at me. Look at me.
Pissed.
You already know what it is. You already know what it is. I'm here now. And that ain't never gonna happen again.
Never.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Let's grab a drink.
Papa. Hey, the bodega's here.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my passion has always been to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. TV has helped MyPillow become the amazing company that it is today. So my employees and I want to thank you with some of our best prices ever. Go to MyPillow.com right now and click on TV specials. You'll get deep discounts on My Pillows, mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regular $89.99 for only $29.99 with your promo code.
2 weeks ago here on this program, you saw Watts lose the Hollywood Heritage Championship. Since then, we've not seen the man, we've not heard from the man, we've contacted his family, his friends, all through social media, and not one word. Well, this man here came forward. His name's Miguel, and you tell us you're a lifelong friend, and you too are worried.
See, I'm probably more worried about Watts than anyone. I've known Watts since I was this tall. But Watts, you and I know that you owe me one. So please, please come here next week.
All right. Well, thank you for answering us, and hopefully together we'll find Watts. So I know you're watching. I know you can hear us. Please reach out.
The following contest is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing in at 170 pounds, Phoenix's favorite son, E.J. Sparks. His opponent in the ring, weighing in at 185 pounds, Jack Cartwright.
Set for action here in Championship Wrestling one-on-one competition. You take a look at the youngster, Jack Cartwright. We saw him team with Jose Santiago in a losing effort against the Friendship Farm, but certainly an impressive young athlete with lots of upside. Speaking of which, on the other side of the ring, E.J. Sparks, three-time Arizona State champion in Championship Wrestling from Arizona, and gave current United Television champion Dan Joseph a real run for his money on our inaugural episode of Returning to Live Action. Should be a good one, Blake.
Yeah, you've seen E.J. Sparks throw several kicks, and there we saw Cartwright counter it.
Cartwright with a lot of gymnastic background, 15 years as a competitive gymnast. You can see a little bit of that right there and a whole lot of it as well. Tried to come up with the head scissors, shrugged off there by E.J. Sparks. Swing and a miss there, but again, right back to his feet. And a big shot there, and Cartwright had a fantastic showing. Hold on here, E.J. Sparks looking for the win. I think Cartwright really had a fantastic showing against Clark Connors of the LA Dojo as well. Showed a lot of that athleticism there. Talented youngster at only 19 years old.
I'd like to see Cartwright do a little better job of getting his hands on EJ. As long as EJ's able to stay all the way out at kicking range, he's doing a lot of damage to Cartwright. Cartwright doesn't have an answer for these kicks.
Goes for the cover now after that splash. Count it 2. Back and forth action here. Again, always looking to climb up that pecking order as you talked about in the past. All the competitors been chomping at the bit to get under the bright lights again here at the United Wrestling Network, and victories are extremely important for EJ, especially if he wants to factor back into title competition after losing that bid for the television title. Cartwheels out, does Jack Cartwright. Might as well call him Jack Cartwheel. Look at this guy. Standing moonsault on the money, gonna put him away, perhaps upset City, no.
Cartwright did an awesome job of escaping out of the corner there. E.J. Sparks has been doing a fantastic job of working the body on Cartwright. And had he been in the corner for that shot, I mean, he might be down for a pinfall already. Cartwright was able to get out and reverse it and start putting it on E.J. Sparks.
Cartwright comes up with the power slam and again goes for the cover. And Jack Cartwright has been hunting for that victory. He's gone for the pin several times. And he has had E.J. Sparks off balance. Now both starting to throw here.
You can tell Cartwright's getting a little emotional in there and trying to play the striking game with EJ because EJ is getting the better of the strikes. Cartwright seems like he might be getting a little mad trying to throw back when he should be grappling. He's getting the upper hand in the grappling exchanges.
Totally agree with you there. You don't throw rocks at a man with a machine gun, and Sparks is an incredible striker. Look out here, power bomb on the way perhaps. Yes, sit out, power bomb into the cover, weight over the shoulders. Only a count of 2. Great counter there by Cartwright. Again, enough can't be said of the fact this youngster, 19 years old, collegiate football player at Chapman University as a fullback. and now he's got the man in trouble and going to try and take the steam out of him here.
Exactly, slowing things down. He's got his arm under the chin, so he's able to block the carotid arteries. This is going to stop blood flow to the brain, which is going to do several things, but primarily he's looking to put EJ to sleep. I don't know if it's deep enough to get him to sleep, but it's going to slow EJ down. And if he can get this brain working lesson, he's going to be a less smart fighter in there.
Excellent point. Can absolutely soften up the opponent, if not score the submission victory. So, but he got rocked there, did Cartwright, but now returning in favor with that elbow. A real struggle between two great athletes.
I'd like to see Cartwright slap another submission on, or some type of hold so he can continue to slow EJ down. If he can take some of the spring out of his bounce, he might be able to nullify some of these kicking attacks that EJ Sparks is so known for.
No question about it. Still to come in our main event. It's going to be Ray Rose's Will All Day Heritage title. Will we see a conclusion this time out? Kickboxing coming into play again for EJ Sparks. Oh, but eats a clothesline. Nothing fancy about that, but absolutely rocks Sparks.
That was a beautiful display of sometimes raw power can just take over technique. We saw EJ with some beautiful combinations just to get trucked by that big clothesline.
Wow, talk about beautiful. How about the velocity there and that handspring back elbow? EJ is in trouble here. Now the fireman's carry roll through, and look at that. Cartwright right back to his feet, and he's got Sparks in a prone position. Might be looking for that jack attack, his variation of the Phoenix Splash. Calls the audible, countered, roundhouse rhythm, rocks him. Does EJ Sparks, drops him. Unbelievable, now he's going for that spark out, Blake.
Oh, that's deep, that's deep.
Here is your winner, EJ Sparks.
Incredible, Blake. The strike sets up the submission. Tell us about that spark out.
So when he locks his hands, he's blocking the carotid artery with the back of one of his calves and then his S-gripped hands around the neck. So, and that was deep. You got a quick tap out of Jack Cartwright on that.
Big victory by EJ Sparks. More coming your way, including the Heritage title on the line in our main event. We'll be back with more championship wrestling.
Okay, friends, standing by here with Will All Day. Now, this is a rematch for you. You, Ray Rosas, are you taking the championship home?
You're damn right I am, David. I beat Ray Rosa's ass once before, and I'm going to beat Ray Rosa's ass again. Ray, you got this new shiny badge. You got the Heritage title. Let me tell you something. There's a new sheriff in town. So why don't you hand over that badge? Why don't you ride off into the sunset? Or I'm going to take your ass out to pasture. And that is all day.
Wow, okay. Those are heavy words. Ray Rosas is a big man here in the United Wrestling Network. Championships all around. Let's see what's going to happen.
Pulaski Kirker sponsors this paid advertisement for legal services and is responsible for legal services. Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from pigmentary maculopathy, which is a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Elmiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome?
Call 1-800-943-3072.
You may be entitled to significant compensation. In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Elmiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision, difficulty adjusting to dim light, and difficulty reading. If you were prescribed Elmiron and suffer from damage to your vision, call our law firm for a free legal consultation. You may be entitled to significant compensation. There are no fees unless we win your case and collect damages for you.
Call 1-800-943-3072. That's 1-800-943-3072.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not recognize me, it's Nico Marquez, minority owner and head matchmaker at Championship Wrestling. Last week, I was viciously attacked by a member of the women's roster while performing my duties as head matchmaker. At this time, I have not sanctioned any of the women's matches, despite the grossly unprofessional actions of Halston Body and Heather Monroe. I've consulted a legal team before taking any further action. I want to thank you, the fans, for joining me on the program this hour. And I'm pleased to present a rematch for the Hollywood Heritage Championship with the main event. Ray Rosas defends against the Will Allday. Enjoy.
The following contest is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Brisbane, Australia, Cece Chanel.
Welcome back to Championship Wrestling from Hollywood here in Hollywood, Tinseltown. Sometimes you get a second take, and that's what we've got here. Another shot at this matchup, which was rudely interrupted by head matchmaker Nico Marquez first time around. Another shot here at victory for Cece Chanel.
That was a great match, too. I'm looking forward to seeing this match get concluded.
And introducing her opponent. She is the Serpent of Evil, Vipres.
Vipres set for this rematch. Again, as you mentioned, a match that never came to a conclusion. It was halted, interrupted by Nico Marquez, who came out, put a stop to it. And we saw Nico Marquez convalescing at home, licking his wounds, recovering from those injuries at the hands of the Killer Bay, who mounted Marquez and let loose with the grounded pound. As you mentioned though, Blake, these two had a good thing going in the early minutes of their previous matchup before it was interrupted. It was physical, it was competitive, and who do you give the edge in this one?
You know, it was very close. I thought Vipres got the submission at first when I wasn't sure why the match was being stopped. So I had Vipres slightly ahead in the last matchup, but you never know what's going to happen in a fight. So I think it's up in the air.
As they say, styles make fights, and Cece Chanel, known for a kickboxing background, so she might want to stand and bang, might want to unleash the strikes, and really a great submission grappler is her opponent in the Serpent of Evil. Fittingly enough, she'll try and put the squeeze on you. Headlock here by Cece Chanel in the early going. As we saw last time, both fundamentally sound competitors. I just don't know, what is going on with the women's division, though. After all that interruption last time, Nico Marquez coming out. That, of course, brought out Halston Body, the Killer Bay, and things really escalated from there. Nice takedown there by Cece Chanel.
And sure enough, they did escalate last time. We might not have seen a finish, but we saw some wild stuff happen at the end of this match last time. Well, I guess maybe not at the end, maybe in the middle.
Nice shot there to open up with the strike there by Vipres. Full head of steam, went 0 to painful in about 1.5 seconds. And, you into the cover now. They always say, Blake, that the most dangerous shot is the one you don't see coming. And that was certainly the case for Chanel there.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with that because you're not able to lock your neck up. You're not able to lock your neck up in a way that's not going to rattle your brain around inside your head. So it is the shots that you don't see coming. Both these girls are studs, man, but the entire women's division is on fire right now. We have so many contenders, it's crazy.
Yeah, and in the midst of that best-of-7 series with the Killer Bay and Lacey Ryan as well, has been extremely competitive. Two great competitors here in Chanel and Vipres. And Chanel using that striking to back up Vipres. Kick to the midsection, looks to follow it up, and really starts to pick apart her opponent. Wow.
You can really see the kickboxing background there.
Paintbrush job with those strikes. Running knee, gonna go for the cover. She might be out here, might have her. That running knee, we've seen that out of the likes of Lacey Ryan as well. Such an effective weapon to a grounded opponent.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of MMA fights get ended with that move. So Vipres is a tough girl to take that on the chin and kick out. I always say with women competitors, I love watching women compete in combat sports because they're fighting for their place in this sport. Men think it's theirs, but these women come and fight with something to prove. And as you can see with these girls, they're leaving it all on the line.
No question about it. It's been a physical encounter since the opening bell, back and forth. Two well-matched competitors. hard-pressed to maintain a long-lasting advantage. And it's Vipres now unloading with the strike. She's got Chanel cornered, nowhere to go but down.
2, 3, 4.
Oh, taking all that count that she could and applying the pressure there, Blake. Flirting with the disaster a little bit.
I don't blame her. It's such a close fight that she's doing whatever she can to slightly get ahead on the scoreboards and get things moving her way. And they say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Big forearms now by Cece Chanel. Again, using her propensity of striking. Going to the midsection as well. Looking to pick up the pace, which she got in mind here. Big forearm again. You know, nothing to absorb that shot because Vipres caught in that corner. Ate all of it, all that impact. Boy, catches her in a choke here.
She's under the chin. This could be a big choke. She's under the chin.
Well, now trying to overcome that height discrepancy, but countered nicely. Oh, she's trying to lock in that poison apple. The hooks are in.
She's got the hooks in. She's going to go out.
Seven.
This is deep. She's tapping. She's tapping.
The match is over. Here is your
Wow.
winner, Vipres.
Vipres impressive, scores the slick submission and gets in the win column here on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. More to come.
Okay, gang, you just saw great women's professional wrestling here on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. And if you've been watching the show, you know Nico Marquez is hell-bent on making women's wrestling disappear. Now, what do you feel? How is this going to affect the best of 7 series?
Dave, can you believe that Nico made me punch him in the face and hurt my beautiful, beautiful hand? He thinks that he can get rid of the women's division that I built from the ground up. No. Mm-mm.
The hell you are. Nico Marquez, look me in the eye. How dare you do that to Heather Monroe? How dare you even think about affecting the women's division? Well, Nico Marquez, if you're watching, just watch. We have some unfinished business with Miss Lacey Ryan, and we're going to take care of that next week. If you're up for it, Miss Monroe.
I'm always up for beating Lacey Ryan up.
Okay, friends, we'll find out more of that next week. We'll be back right after this.
Do you use Viagra or Cialis? Have you been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 or more a pill for Viagra, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. Stop overpaying for expensive prescriptions. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call now and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for Viagra. Call us anytime, day or night, and start saving big money for the exact same results. Have your credit card ready. Ordering is fast and easy, with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. Call now.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 400 pounds, Rock God, Ricky Gibson, and Freak Nasty, Eddie Pearl, 4 minutes of heat.
4 minutes of heat, riding that wave of momentum here back into the Ocean View Pavilion just last week. Scored a big victory over the Friendship Farm, looking to tack on another win here this week.
And introducing their opponents, at a combined weight of 395 pounds, the team of Dickie Bear, and fighting out of the New Japan Pro Wrestling LA Dojo, Clark Connors.
no-nonsense tandem here. You might want to call them ruthless efficiency. Clark Connors and Dickie Mayer. You're not going to see much in the way of flash and panache, but they will hurt you and they will beat you. Unique tag team matchup here. And it looks like it's going to be Clark Connors, the captain of the LA Dojo for New Japan Pro Wrestling, coming off of a really impressive victory over a really impressive youngster in Jack Cartwright.
This should be a fantastic matchup. As you mentioned, Connors is the captain of the LA Dojo for New Japan, and Dickie Mayer spent a lot of time in Japan as well training. So you have a lot of experience on this side of the ring. And as we know, with 4 minutes of heat, these guys are some killers too. This should be a fantastic matchup.
A little bit of a different look than we're accustomed to seeing out of Dickie Mayer. And it's going to be Eddie Pearl and Clark Connors to kick things off.
Beautiful technicality there by Connors. He didn't try and out-muscle 4 minutes of heat. He just went in there and tried to get the leverage. Again, beautiful leverage.
Well, that's what he's all about. Under the tutelage of Shibata in the dojo, we saw him get that victory with the spear, followed seamlessly with that Boston Crab. But now we'll see what he can do in the tag team ranks. And you might think that in terms of team, going for the cover early is Connors there. When it comes to continuity as a team, you might think it would, of course, be to the advantage of 4 minutes of heat. But if you wind back the clock, Clark Connors and Dickie Mayer did team together back in the day prior to Connors' dojo days.
Interesting. I did not know that small fact. And I think that absolutely could play a difference because I always say this in tag team matchups. It's not about the individual skill. It's how well you can work as a team. So knowing that gives me a lot more faith in Connors and Dickie. I initially had counted them out before I knew that. Both these guys are so good that you can't count Dickie Mayer or Connors out, especially knowing that they've teamed before.
We'll see if it factors into this thing. History could be made this week as well, though, as we're going to see Ray Rosas put that Heritage title on the line, taking on Will All Day for the second consecutive week after that craziness of SoCal distancing and getting involved by way of video and interrupting that main event. So we'll see. Hopefully that matchup will come to a conclusion this week. That coming up in your main event, but we got great tag team action to kick things off. Here's Dickie Mayer going for the cover. Last we had seen Dickie Mayer, that partnership with Ty Matthews coming to an ugly end and back to doing what he does best, and that's great in-ring competition. Here you see some of that teamwork we mentioned would be there, and there it is. Double shoulder block by Mayer and Connors. Connors looking for the win.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job of working together. They have kept him in there. Dickie Mayer and Connors have kept him in his corner the entire match so far and have just been punishing him.
And that's stealing a page out of the 4 minutes of heat playbook, because it was just last week that we talked about how effectively 4 minutes of heat cuts off the ring. Shoes on the other foot so far in this one, Blake.
Absolutely. It shows the importance of working together as a team.
Nice double suplex there. Dickie Mayer looking for the cover. So fundamentally sound. And you saw that double team, and to your point, Eddie Pearl's got to make a tag. Double teaming is the name of the game for 4 minutes of heat, and that has been completely out of the playbook thus far in this matchup.
Ooh, and that aggression Pearl should have gone for the tag there. He was so close. Instead, he ran over and tried to be aggressive, and it cost him the tag.
Ricky Gibson gonna do something about it, getting physically involved in this thing, checks in. Referee allowing some leniency. Oh my gosh, did you see? Got absolutely scorpioned there. In the corner, he hit hard and heavy. Yikes.
He might be hurt the way he's moving.
He ate all of that buckle, and now we see the tag, and here's 4 minutes of heat in their natural habitat for the quick tags.
Doing what they do best and just putting it on guys and cooking them.
Rock God in control of this tag team encounter. It continues right after this.
Pulaski Kirker sponsors this paid advertisement for legal services and is responsible for legal services. Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from pigmentary maculopathy, which is a serious retinal injury after taking the prescription drug Elmiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome?
Call 1-800-943-3072.
You may be entitled to significant compensation. In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Elmiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision, difficulty adjusting to dim light, and difficulty reading. If you were prescribed Elmiron and suffer from damage to your vision, call our law firm for a free legal consultation. You may be entitled to significant compensation. There are no fees unless we win your case and collect damages for you.
Call 1-800-943-3072. That's 1-800-943-3072.
Welcome back, everybody, to Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. 4 minutes of heat. Continued that full court press throughout the break. We saw how hard and heavy Dickie Mayer hit the corner, got absolutely scorpioned, like I said, and he's feeling a lot of effects on that neck.
Yeah, they've been wrenching on that neck all kinds of ways since he went face first into that turnbuckle. It could be danger for Dickie Mayer.
Nasty impact, and likewise there on that belly to back suplex. Freak Nasty looking for the win, but we know all about the fighting spirit of Dickie Mayer. Now, of course, we talk about Clark Connors being in the LA Dojo, New Japan Pro Wrestling, but you touched on it. Dickie Mayer spent a lot of time in the land of the rising sun, competing, wrestling. He's got that fighting spirit, and he will take it to you as long as he's got an ounce of energy left in that body. But that might not be for much longer. Look out here. Oh, thought it was going to be a moonsault. No, just goes into the recliner cover.
He got a 2 count on that. Had he really moonsaulted, he might have gotten the 3 right there.
I think he worked on that cover during the quarantine. And look, there you see it, though. How about that body positioning, Blake?
Beautiful. Beautiful cutting off the ring and stopping the tag to keep Dickie Mayer in there and continue to punish him.
Location, location, location. He had that body positioning. Look out here. Might be a little smash and axe action here. No, oh, going medium risk, low risk. Boy, that's a long way to go for an eye gouge. Keeping them guessing, Blake.
If you're going to cheat, you got to do it in style.
Into the cover, 4 minutes of heat, having some fun in there. No, nice bridge, though. Escaping that. I think playtime might be over here, Blake, if you look at the body language of Dickie Mayer.
Dickie Mayer looks like he's about to switch gears and start turning it up.
Think he might throw some hand grenades and elbows. There they are.
That was a elbow, right? Oh, and he's taking the pad. That was a elbow.
Nasty shots by Dickie Mayer. He has had enough. And it's another time that Ricky Gibson has had to come in for the save, stacking them up. Nice drop kick there in the corner by Dickie Mayer. And he's got to make it. You talked about that need to get to the corner. Can he do it?
He gets this tag right now. This could be a huge change in the match.
Tag is made, and Clark Connors, that captain of the LA Dojo, is fresh. And you can see it here. He's hitting anything that moves. Full head of steam here by Clark Connors. Gets a lot of velocity into that elbow. Snap Mayer takedown, not where you want to be with him. Drops the elbow into the cover, hook of the leg. We've seen the impressive acceleration that Connors is capable of. We saw it oh, look at, he's looking for the Boston Crab plate. And cut off, though. Ricky Gibson maybe did his film study. He knew what was coming, huh? Double team. Oh, the backstabbeth on the crazy train, if you will.
That was slick. I love tag team moves like that.
Cover. Dickie Mayer makes a split-second save. That's one of their signatures. That backstabeth, that double team backstabber. And that was a close call.
4 minutes, he did a fantastic job of separating both Dickie Mayer and Connors to the point where they've been able to do some serious damage on both these guys. There have been times where we've seen Connors and Dickie get the slight upper hand, but...
Oh, my goodness. Into the power slam, and this is not where you want to be, and into the knee strike. Oh, double trouble for Eddie Pearl.
Is he out?
No, he's dreaming of his next concert tour.
He's out. Let him go. He's absolutely out.
What a
Here
finish.
are your winners, the team of Dickie Mayer and Clark Connors.
He's still barely moving. He is face down on the mat. That guy is out. They might need to get a stretcher out here.
This one ended due to referee stoppage. I mean, we talked about that double jeopardy, Blake. He had him in the Boston Crab, and then that pinpoint knee strike by Dickie Mayer. There's no escape from that. And somebody who else is impressive, as these two were, somebody you're quite familiar with, the Golden Boy, Jordan Clearwater. Let's take a look.
One of the big philosophies that my coach has instilled in myself is called engaging your rage, letting that inner beast come out and conquer. And Jordan Clearwater has it in him.
That aggression is setting my sights on a goal, something I want, and not letting up until I've obtained it. If you're expecting to see the same Jordan Clearwater, think again.
This kid is getting bigger, stronger, faster, and more importantly, better.
I'm not the same person that I was 6 months ago. I'm not the same person that I was 3 months ago. I'm not even the same person that I was yesterday. This aggression will be ruthless. It will be relentless. And I will not stop until I've gotten what I want. For the last 6 months, everyone's been sitting on the couch doing what they do. I've been in the gym putting in work. The Midas touch is about to become the gold standard.
The Midas touch, it's lights out.
When I step back into that ring, you're going to see the dawning of the golden era.
Main event time, and we're gonna try this one again. Last week, Will Alday had his shot at new Heritage champion Ray Rosas. That matchup coming to a close as SoCal Distancing taking over the broadcast and dropping the illustrious PP3 Cup into the Pacific Ocean. Total disgust, total disrespect for the history of this program, for Ray Rosas, the cup bearer, and for the history of Percival Pringle III. And here comes the champion, again looking awfully weary and taking a look around for his former brethren, and who could blame him? This guy's got a target on his back. Champions already have a target on their back, but what Rosas is going through is just ungodly.
At least that target usually comes up to you face forward. You don't know when the SoCal Distancing boys are going to run up from behind with a crowbar and take you out.
SoCal Distancing was known in the past as Static, along with Ray Rosas. Ray Rosas, a couple weeks ago, becomes the Heritage champion and beaten down brutally by Adrian Quest, Uptown Andy Brown. Then they interfere in the main event. They're making the life of Rosas a living hell. Rosas about to put the title on the line for the second consecutive week, and here to set the stage, ring announcer Adnan Qureshi.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Hollywood Heritage Championship. Introducing first, the challenger. From Houston, Texas, weighing in at 180 pounds, Will Alday.
Challenger looks ready, second consecutive week.
And introducing the champion. from Antelope Valley, weighing in at 202 pounds. He is the Arizona State Champion and the defending Hollywood Heritage Champion, Ray Rosas.
Here we go. Heritage title up for grabs. Oh, what a quick start here by Will Allday, taking advantage, and there you hear the opening bell. So this thing is off and running and official. And, you know, maybe a sense of urgency, too, because you want to try and win the matchup before something else goes on, before SoCal Distancing stops another match or interferes with the broadcast. And Blake, you know, I think Rosas is so preoccupied with SoCal Distancing that he didn't see Will Allday coming at him, you know, right into his face. Up and over goes Will Allday. And last time out, Blake, I really felt that Rosas had the match well at hand. Looked like he was going to go up for the method of the madness for that elbow before the transmission was interrupted by SoCal Distancing.
I agree. Ray Rosas was definitely in charge of that matchup, particularly with the interruption. But it's been a very back-and-forth battle between these two guys because when they had the six-man tag team match, Will was getting the better of it. Will also has a win over Ray. So this is a very competitive matchup.
Got a couple wins over the years and one recently in that six-man tag team action, but it seems like Rosas, and there you see, oh, what is Rosas going to do here? See, you know, I think Rosas maybe had enough is enough, and he's getting angry here, and he wants to.
He might be trying to prove a point to Adrian Quest and Andy Brown, letting them know that he can do damage to them if he gets his hands on them.
Do unto others as SoCal Distancing would do unto you. And we heard Ray Rosas there saying, hey, are you watching? Looking right in the camera, and as we know from SoCal Distancing, as they claim, we are everywhere.
So remember last week, I got a question for you, TK. Last week when SoCal Distancing threw the PP3 Cup in the ocean, what does that mean with Ray Rosas' ability to cash in the cup and get Percy's privilege for a title shot of his choice?
Well, you know, I'm not sure if the Percy's privilege is married to the cup itself. The cup is a symbol of that privilege. It's awarded to the cup bearer, but I would think, you know, I don't know. I guess the cup it has to be cashed in, right? You have to have that physical, you know, the cup to be able to cash it in for the privilege. But here we go, Brainbuster by Will Allday. And if this continues, Rosas is going to wish he had the cup, but to cash in for a rematch for his Heritage title that he's about to lose if this continues the way it's going. Rosas didn't need Percy's privilege, though, to become Heritage champion, Blake. He took advantage of that open challenge, and he beat Watts, who had held the Heritage title for over a year, used his veteran know-how to counter an attempt at the choke force. Here's a cover, though. Will Allday, though, has been in the driver's seat thus far in this main event.
So I've got another question about United Wrestling Network history question. Has anybody ever held the Heritage title belt, the TV title belt, and the Arizona belt all at the same time?
No, that's never happened, but, you know, Arizona's title and Heritage title has never been held at the same time either until Rosas was the man to do it. But he can't complete that trifecta without the cup itself, which again was pitched into the Pacific Ocean by SoCal Distancing. Rosas now, big shot upstairs. He's regained his focus, and he's regained the advantage in this main event title matchup.
See, we can see Ray's head is back in the match. He's not looking around. He's not looking over his shoulder nonstop, and he's starting to take control of this matchup. But you just saw him look towards the entrance there. He needs to keep his head in this matchup if he wants to win. Will Allday is no joke.
No doubt about it. Will Allday with a big super kick there, and Will Allday has competed in more main events than pretty much anybody I can think of.
That's exactly why Ray needs to keep his head in the game. I know he's concerned about Adrian Quest and Andy Brown coming out of nowhere, but if he wants to retain that Heritage title, he needs to keep his head inside that squared circle.
You can't be scatterbrained in there with somebody as dangerous as Will Allday, and you're going to be scatterbrained after that super kick as well, courtesy of the challenger. Count is on, but Will Alday doesn't want it that way. He can't win the title that way. Was trying to measure Ray Rosas from the outside, maybe thinking springboard. Blocked the kick, did Rosas. Couldn't block that one, though. Nasty, nasty shot right to the brainstem. Looking to capitalize. Here we go. Variation of that stamp of approval, the Swanton. He usually hits it off the top, but could certainly soften up the champ.
Ray looks hurt, man. That kick to the back of the head, I think, really damaged him. That's not a legal move in mixed martial arts competition. He is hurt.
I think he's thinking signature. I think he was going to maybe go for that running knee. Countered, looking adios amigos, but reverse Rana. Thought it was going to be an electric chair, but the athleticism and now the double stomp by Will Alday, who came to play under the bright lights in the main event to take home the title. No, close call.
It's going to be a little bit more than that required to take home the TV title, or the Heritage title.
No doubt about it. Heritage title on the line. Will Alday, in his career, winning championship has been his business, and business has been booming. It's been very, very good. He was the Reality of Wrestling TV champion. He's held titles all over the place. He was a collegiate athlete. This guy can do it all, and he's very, very dangerous, looking for the stamp of approval, countered, however, by the champ. He's got him up now. Adios, amigos. The champion is rolling here.
Alday's back might be compromised after those two last big attacks.
And this is exactly where we were when we were so rudely interrupted last time out. Can Ray Rosas finish it off this time? Big time elbow, method to the madness, into the cover. Here's 1, 2, Rosas successfully retains.
Here is your winner, and still Hollywood Heritage Champion, Ray Rosas.
Incredible victory here by Ray Rosas. Even more impressive, Blake Troop, when you think about the fact that there's no way that Rosas could be completely focused on the task at hand here and getting by Will Alday, but that's exactly what he was able to do. He finally hit that big elbow that he was going for last week.
Well, he did not get all those championship titles by luck. There is a reason why he's the champ.
Rosas interrupted last week, looking around. You never know where SoCal Distancing will be. You never know where they'll strike from. You never know when they're going to interrupt things. But thank goodness they didn't interrupt our main event, at least for the second consecutive week.
Ray's looking around for him, though, like he expects him.
Rosas has to fight his opponent and fight his paranoia as well that's perpetuated by SoCal Distancing.
It's a little bit of taste of his own medicine, though, because he's been doing that to a lot of